Hello there, this is episode 23 for Basil, our King of Thieves, in Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Last time, we traded 2 merchants for 2 party members. I honestly don't think it was a fair trade. That's the price of being a goody two-shoes. Anyway, we're going to do another quest in Baldur's Gate. This time, it's going to be involving a little bit of grand larceny, but also a little bit of,
Good eve on you and yours,
negotiations. This is
your ear?
Rosameth. Now, Rosameth is a very polite and distinguished gentleman. He's a wizard. He has his own tower. He's referenced in Baldur's Gate 3, I believe. And he asks us if we are mercenaries. Of course, Minsk is doing the talking, which can be a little bit dangerous, I suppose. But, well, he actually does a pretty good job. And he basically proposes that we rescue or break into a place owned by a guy named Ragefast. Ragefast, we've walked past his house a few times. He's right next to the ladies' hall. And he says that there's a beautiful creature there. It's a nymph that's been captured for some time. Minsk asks him, well, hey, you're a wizard of some repute. Why don't you go ahead and just talk with Ragefast and try to convince him to break free? But Rosameth says, no, one wizard cannot interrupt another wizard, or some such excuse. Anyway, so he asks us to basically break in to his place and get the nymph out of there and bring the nymph back to his tower that we just saw. Now, we're going to go ahead and head in that direction.
Sure.
Before we do, we're going to head into the Helm and Cloak. This is a nice inn. This was a party led by Gospel Hind, who is a famous adventurer. We're actually going to avoid this because it's going to lead to a very, very dangerous fight that we really don't want to do. Not with Gospel Hind, but with another group that wants to kick his ass. So we're going to rest up before facing off against this wizard Ragefast. Remember, we're only a party of 4, so we have to be very, very careful about what we do next. Anyway, we go ahead and leave, and then we're going to head back south. This is Ragefast's home. It's right next to a very nice little garden area. Now, Ragefast's home is, what do you know, it's locked. So Basil is going to have to, be the thief he is and break into his place, open the door, and showing promise exceptional, we're going to go ahead and make our way in.
Sure.
I'm going to try to wait until we are uncloaked. Now, hopefully Basil will be the one doing the talking, but you never know how this turns out.
Okay.
And yes, he is. So Ragefast says that he's talking with this beautiful nymph.
Destiny or no, I'm not long for this place.
She basically is saying that she's dying. And Ragefast is now he notices us finally, and he gets enraged that we are there. And we, of course, try to say that he is committing crimes. He is holding somebody against their will. That's kidnapping. That's hostage taking. Not only that, but it's a creature that's going to die if it continues to stay here. And Ragefast, of course, you can tell he is immediately blinded by the love of this nymph. So he's not thinking right. And so Basil has to remind him that you don't cage the one you love. You don't force them to stay with you. You encourage them. And if it's time for them to go, it's time for them to go. The nymph says that her beauty is fading. And Ragefast is saying, no, those wrinkles, they're not so bad. And Bella's like, no, well, I'm an immortal creature. I'm not supposed to have wrinkles, so I need to be back with the trees. Ragefast, of course, is just not getting it, but Abella is the one who does a good job of trying to convince him that she's going to die. And Basil, of course, is going to just tell Ragefast that she's going to die with him. and kind of add on to that logic and reason. And Ragefast, of course, relents. He says he's been a fool, and he's willing to let her go, breaking his heart. It's very sad, but at the same time, it's happy that this didn't go into violence. Emwyn gets a level up. We can talk to Ragefast, and
Love is a blind, the deaf, and the ever
he
so dumb.
wants us to get out. He's got some cool instruments here, though, and I've never looked inside his chest because, well, I try not to kill him. You can actually get into a fight with Ragefast. He's a typical wizard. He will cast spells at you. He has the way to get into a fight is either to just provoke him straight up and just say that he's that you're gonna kill him and take the nymph with you, or you mention Rosamith. If you mention Rosamith, he immediately just says, "I knew that you were lying to me. I knew that you were full of crap, and I'm gonna kill you." And send a message to Rosamith not to interfere in my affairs, or something to that effect. So anyway, now we leave Ragefast's home. And by the way, before we left, Abella the nymph gave us a lock of her hair. The lock of hair can be sold. It can be sold at the Sorceress Sundries, which is where Basil and the crew are going to head next. Always good to get some magical crafts. So we're going to go ahead and waltz on in and chat with Hasberdin. Actually, we're going to talk to his assistant first. He warns us about a couple of necromancers upstairs. We're going to keep clear of them for the moment. But we'll chat with Hasberdin.
Yes?
And he says that he wants to pay us 500 gold for it. And, 500 gold, it doesn't seem like a huge amount to us, obviously, because we've been collecting gold for a long time, but back in the day, it's very, very, very good. That'll be it for today. Feel free to check back on other content that I've made throughout the channel. I have playthroughs and starter guides for many different games. In the meantime, take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.